All right, y'all. In these next few videos, we're going to be looking at the same shapes we did for surface area, but instead we're going to be finding the volume of these shapes. We're going to start off with the volume of a prism. And remember that volume is the amount of physical space an object takes up, or you can think of it as the amount of space inside an object. So the amount of space inside a prism, or volume, is simply capital B times H, where B is the area of the base. We should remember that B is the area of the base from our surface area part a couple lessons ago. And we should also remember that H is the height of our prism. Now the nice thing about volume is that there's no lateral or total surface area to worry about. It's just one piece. So we only have to worry about finding the volume, and that's it. Now the volume of this prism, we want to find out our area of the base first. And that's the same thing that we did with surface area. Since this is a rectangle, the area of the base is length times width, or 7 times 8. And that gives us 56 inches squared. Now we have our volume, we have our area of our base. Now we need our height. We can see that our height is 2 inches. So our total volume, we take our area of our base times our height, which is 56 times 2. So our volume is 112 inches cubed. And that's the volume of a prism. Now this is going to vary depending on whether we have a rectangular prism or a triangular prism or whatever. But just remember, we have to find the area of our base and multiply that by our height, and that will give us the volume of our prism. I'd like us to skip down to example 11 and see if y'all can try this one on your own. Pause the video, and then when you have the answer, unpause and check it for yourself. So in this example, we need to find the area of our base, capital B, and we need to find our height. The base here is another rectangle, so we're going to multiply 10 times 11. Those are the lengths and width of our base. 10 times 11 is 110. And the height of our prism is 3 feet. So the base is 110 feet squared. Our height is 3 feet. And our volume is these two numbers multiplied together. Capital B times H equals 110 times 3. So our volume is 330 feet cubed. Volume is cubed. Next, we want to look at how to find the volume of a cylinder. And one of the things we can remember from our surface area lessons is that a cylinder is very similar to a prism, except it has circular bases. So since we're dealing with circles, we need the radius and the height of our cylinder. And since it's the same as a prism with circular bases, we can take the volume is the same formula. Area of the base times the height. Well, area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. So that's our base times the height gives us our volume. So that's the formula that we're going to be using for volume of a cylinder. Again, there's just one formula. It's not, we don't have to do two different types. It's just standard volume. So we can use this formula. Volume equals pi r squared height, where we have to know our radius and our height. In this example, the radius is 9 centimeters, and our height equals 7 centimeters. Plug these things into our calculator. We're going to use pi as 3.14 times the radius squared, which is 9 squared, times our height, which is 7. So if we are using 3.14 as pi, we do this because IXL always wants us to use 3.14 for pi. We get 1,780.38 centimeters cubed. Now, if you use the pi button on your calculator, you'll get a little bit different number. You'll get 1,781.28, which is just a slight difference. On the test, either one should be okay, but remember to use 3.14 on IXL. Now I'd like you to try example 12 on your own. Pause the video, and when you're done, unpause it and see if you got it right. So example 12 is a cylinder, and the main issue with this cylinder is that it does not give us the radius. It gives us the diameter. So we have to pay attention to what it gives us. In this example, our diameter is 24, so our radius is exactly half of that. So we have a radius of 12 feet. We already know our height is 10, and we can take those two numbers and put them into our calculator. Pi radius squared times the height. So our volume equals 3.14 times 12 squared times 10. Put that in your calculator. 3.14 times 12 squared times 10. And you should get approximately 4,521.6 feet cubed. If you used the pi button on your calculator, you'll get about 4,523.89. So a little bit different, but should be close enough for our purposes. But again, remember to use 3.14 when you're working with IXL. If you didn't get these two examples right, be sure and try and figure those out on your own. Make sure you can get these correct answers. Then you can go back and work on your assignment. In the next video, we'll be looking at how to find the volume of pyramids, cones, and we'll do another video over spheres.